Eccoci, allora siamo di ritorno a questo segmento di design, la mia passione il design in tutti i suoi aspetti, il design sia grafico, come questo bellissimo luogo che c'è proprio qui, questi manifesti, design architettonico, però abbiamo anche il piacere di avere con noi dei protagonisti nel mondo del design, è proprio qualcuno qui di Montreal, il signor Robert Ruscio. Roberto, benvenuto al nostro programma, di Ruscio Studio che specializza nel design commerciale, se vogliamo, arredamento di negozi e altre cose, però lasciamo la parola a Robert che lui sicuramente ci parlerà. Robert, benvenuto al nostro programma.
Allora, buongiorno Piero e grazie per, innanzitutto ti vorrei ringraziare per l'invito di oggi.
Sempre un piacere Robert. Dimmi una cosa, tu come hai iniziato nel mondo del design?
Allora, vorrebbe, se possibile, parlare in inglese a questo punto perché
poi tradurrò come andiamo.
Un po' più tecniche, allora
via che andiamo tradurrò.
So, Ruscio Studio is an interior design firm that started 11 years ago. As a matter of fact, we're celebrating our 11th year anniversary this month.
Oh, bellissimo.
And we are a local interior design firm from Montreal. We are specialized in commercial design, which would encompass store design, kiosks, boutiques, shopping center renovations, food courts, pop-up stores, coffee shops, anything really to do with the world of retail.
Wow, quindi coprite tutta la gamma, se vogliamo, dell'espressione commerciale, come hai detto, negozi, arredamento di stand, centri d'acquisti e queste cose qui. Quali sono gli ingredienti che servono per fare un buon design a livello non solo delle capacità creative ma anche dei collaboratori, perché lo Ruscio Studio non è solo Robert Ruscio, vero?
Infatti sì. Allora potrebbe spiegare un po' how we're set up, which is basically we are an office of 15 professionals. We've got project managers, which are ultimately responsible for the projects in terms of from beginning to start, deadlines, budgets, correspondence with clients, suppliers, and they're also responsible in distributing some of the work internally to more technical people or people that will be in charge of the architectural drawings. There's some other people that get involved with the presentation, 3D presentation, materials, and I also I find that over the years the company has grown, has evolved, and I've had to adjust my role as it grew. But I still managed to, along with Charles-Antoine Moupetzi, our creative director, have some fun and get involved with the design development.
That's what it's all about, because yes, design is a business, il design è un business, se vogliamo, si fanno gli affari, si sopravvivi con questo, perché sei un professionista in quel campo lì, ma allo stesso tempo devi anche avere piacere, you have to have fun, because the creative process is always an amazing one, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're, what are some of the ingredients that are required?
That's right.
I would say that one of the intangible ingredients is to have the passion, and I feel that
that's probably the first ingredient.
It's very important in what we do because you need to get inspired,
and
I feel I'm quite fortunate that being more than 25 years in the industry, I still get excited talking about design or walking into a retail space and experiencing the design for the very first time.
The feeling. È un bel sentimento quando si entra in un posto e you go, wow, che un oggetto, basta alle volte un dettaglio, vero?
Infatti, sì.
That's really, really important. Ma Robert, allora hai questi collaboratori, lavorate tutti assieme, il processo creativo come si svolge? Cioè ognuno nel suo angolo o siete qualcosa di gruppo? Perché si deve fare un po' dei due, secondo me, no?
Sì, infatti. Allora spesso iniziamo con un brainstorm, cioè we get together with the creative director, all get involved, the project manager gets involved, the client as well is invited, and we really, it's a chance for us to just, first of all, understand, and I think that's very important. You have to understand what the client is asking for, what he's looking for, who's his market, like budgets, deadlines. These are all important aspects that will allow us to successfully deliver whatever it is that we're supposed to
that's
give.
a filtering process, basically, right?
Correct.
So that what you want at the end is the essence of what you want to transmit as a message, right?
Filtering, I think, is a very good word. You know, Piero,
That's what
I would say that today, one of the things that we have that's accessible for all of us is the internet, and we can pretty much get access to any concept out there. So it becomes so important to be able to edit, and if we are to edit, it's important to decide from the start what it is that works best for this concept and what we need to put aside and save for another concept.
Very interesting, Robert. Now, tell me a bit about some projects, maybe some fetish projects of yours, some projects that went very well, and then we can get into maybe some publicity that you got worldwide.
Okay, sure. Well, I'd like to talk about Starbucks, where they, a few years ago, had to tune into their customer, as their customer was telling them that all the stores looked alike from one city to another, airport, or wherever they may be. And so they decided to come up with this new concept, but it's a concept that is sort of a guideline for other designers like us to then adapt and apply, along with what they want is to be relevant to the local environment. So if they're in certain neighborhoods, they want to make sure that they integrate themselves within that neighborhood, take into account if they're into a space that has a 20-foot high ceiling, how can we design with that? Or if they're in a space where there's a 150-year-old wall, stone wall, let's not cover it up, let's bring it into the concept. And what happens is that each location is somewhat a little unique and different, yet there's a brand consistency.
There's a theme, a basic theme, a bit of like in classical music, variations on a theme, basically.
Correct.
You have that, but it's very interesting that they have this philosophy, because obviously they take into account if you want, the regionality, if we can say that, of their concept, right? When you're setting up in one city or a different space or different things like that.
Yeah.
Other projects?
Well, if I use the example of Starbucks as a global company that allows to integrate itself very well locally, I can talk also about another trend that is going on globally, and certainly one that is felt here nationally, and that's with the banking industry. Over the years, banks have encouraged their customers to shop, to do their banking online, use ATM machines. They've even reduced their banking hours. More recently, what they want is to bring back the customer to their banks. Why? Because they have new products, they have insurance, mutual funds, or credit cards, loans, which require
a personal approach.
Which is well, the concept that we worked on for the National Bank of Canada, for the head office here in Montreal, and also 121 King Street in Toronto. Our design was to create an environment that would be that would encourage the customer to come in and to gather information, and more something where the customer has a chance to learn about products as opposed to something that is being sold to them. They also wanted to get rid of that austere feeling that is usually felt in a bank, and so there are more casual setups where customers can sit down with consultants in a more casual setting. There's also coffee bars and areas where they can drink. There's free Wi-Fi, and areas where there's iPads where they can, with technology. There's a lot of technology that was also applied to it, where the customer can get its information
much
as
more
they please.
user-friendly. We have roughly a little over a minute left. I know that you had some awards given to you, beautiful awards, but you were also publicized in Arredo Negozi, una rivista italiana.
Sì. So that would be Solara. And Solara is an example of a shoe store. It's a local retailer here in Quebec. And here's a perfect example of smaller local retailers that are facing some of the larger American or international retailers coming into their malls and having to share space. Well, they don't have the same budgets, they don't have the same resources, and they still need to compete. And so what we did with this store is we said, let's do something that is going to be striking and visually recognizable from the mall, which is why we ended up taking 6,700 ladies' shoes. They were discontinued. spray painted them all white, apply them to the ceiling, and it creates this wonderful texture.
Fantastic.
Referred to as a shoe cloud, and this store has won numerous awards,
Very nice,
local,
Robert.
internationally, and was, as you mentioned, also published in an Italian magazine.
Robert, our time is up. We have to go. Thank you so much. We'll definitely talk about other projects.
Thank you. I want to take the time to wish you good luck with this new show, and I also would like to say hello to the nuovi telespettatori di questa emissione.
Fantastico. Grazie Robert. Ecco quindi per Robert Ruscio.